This is week 5 of the 52 weeks of picks. This week's theme, 4. What I have here is 2 wine glasses just filled up with some water and a little food coloring in there, and it's sitting on a piece of plexiglass with a piece of black foam core underneath it so I can add some reflections. And then to the right of it I have another piece of foam core which is white, and that's to use as a bounce reflector. And then I have an umbrella set up with a remote flash, and that's on the Young Duo trigger as well. And then in the back here, set up, I'll try and get that in focus for you, I have 2 more little glasses of wine here, and one is green, one is yellow, and I have another remote flash and a little tiny piece of sandpaper covering over part of it so the light doesn't spill out too much. And that's going to be remotely fired from the other flash when it goes off. Okay, I have to turn some of these video lights off here, so we're going to see how that works out. Hopefully you have enough light on here. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of shots here, and I'll display them in the video so you can see exactly what it is I'm doing. I'm on manual focus, and I want to get a little bit lower. And move over just a little bit. Okay, maybe one more. There we go. Okay, I will see you in Photoshop. Now we're in Adobe Bridge, and you can see I have the 5 images open here. I think I'm going to open this up in Camera Raw. Let me see which one, which image I want to use. Just going to click through them here. I think I was going to use this one with the, you see I marked it with 5 stars. Let's filter that out and just use the ones that have 5 stars, just these 2 images here. And I like this image the way it was. That line in the middle kind of broke apart the 2 colors that were in the back there. But this image I liked how it was because there was a color behind each glass. So this is the one we're going to work on. And I'm going to double click it and open that up in Camera Raw. And I'm going to do a little bit of editing here in Camera Raw. For starters, I want to raise the brightness here of the whites. So I'm just going to go right to the whites. And I'm going to bring that up pretty high. Around there looks pretty good. And I don't want to blow this out. As you can see, these 2 things here are completely white. So by clicking this little arrow here, you can see I've clipped severely here in the red channels on there. And the dark channels seem to be alright. I don't see where they're clipping, but it says that they are. So you can hold down your Alt key and click on the highlights and just move it down. And as you move it, you can see what is being clipped. I'm going to move this pretty high. Go right around there. I'm going to click and hold. You can see like where each channel is being clipped, the red channel and the blue channel. That little bit doesn't bother me. It's not really affecting me too much, but you don't want anything that looks like that where it goes complete white, so it's showing all clipping in every channel. I'm going to move that back to, what is it, 69 or so. And let's see what happened there. Just brightened it up, made it a little more lively looking. And to continue on that, I'm just going to pump the vibrance up to bring out some of those colors. And you can see it brings a lot of blue out. I don't want that. I want to keep it relatively white there. So we're probably at 22 maybe a little more. 25, 26, that looks good. And I want to try and get rid of some of the wrinkles and creases in here. It doesn't look too nice. I kind of want it a little bit smoother. So I'm going to go over to the adjustment brush here. And you can see I have the clarity. I'm just going to turn that all the way down to -100. And just start painting in here on some of these wrinkles and stuff. It kind of just dulls it down a little bit and doesn't make it as prominent. And it's always better to work on a raw image if you can. And that looks around. Hit the preview button here. You see, it kind of softened it up a little bit. And now, maybe a little click over here too. Okay. I'm going to go over to spot removal brush there. I'm going to zoom in. Just holding Control plus. This Command plus on the Mac. And you can see there's a lot of spots. Those were actually just air bubbles. The glasses were clean. I made sure of that beforehand. I washed them in the sink and then brought them downstairs individually using a rag. This way I didn't get any fingerprints on it. But now I have the spot healing brush and it's set to heal. I'm just going to, my bracket tool once, it's a radius of 2, and I'm just going to click. Click over there. And I'm just going to continue clicking on until I get rid of all of these little tiny marks. You can adjust the size of the brush. A little 1 pixel brush there. I'm going to fast forward through this so you don't have to watch all of this here, because I have another glass to do. This can be kind of boring, so I'm just going to fast forward through that, okay? I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, I just wanted to slow down here for a second and show you that you don't have to use the areas that it automatically selects. You could just hover over this green one and move it to an area that might suit the healing area a little bit better. I think that would be a helpful tip to know. Okay, I'm just about done with this now. You see there's a little weird stuff going on here with the light. I'm not sure what that's all about there. I don't know why that looks like that, but it wasn't from the spot removal tool, so I'll just fix that up then. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. Now you're going to see a little before and after. Cleaned up all those little spots. Alright, and I think that should be good for Camera Raw. I'm going to open this up as an object and jump right into Photoshop now. Alright, now that we're in Photoshop, we're going to bring out this glass a little bit down here because I want to show these reflections so it does look like there are 4 here. I'm going to open up a curves adjustment layer. I'm going to select the targeted adjustment tool. I'm going to go over in this darker area over here. And I'm just going to raise it up. I think that looks good right there. It's pretty bright. And I'm going to click on the mask here and invert the mask. And lower my opacity on my brush here. 30% or so. That looks good. 32%. Pretty good. I'm just going to click around here just to brighten the area up a little bit and just to bring it out. And maybe even do the stem here as well. Click once here, lower the size of the brush by hitting the left bracket key, holding down the shift key, and then clicking, which draws a straight line. And I'll do it on this one as well. Oop. There we go. And looks like I introduced a little bit of noise here in the dark areas. So maybe I'll switch that back to black and then just paint back over them into those dark areas here. Just make them darker again. Just the darker portions. I want to have some light in there. I'm too worried about how that's going to look with the noise there. Looks pretty good. Let me see. Maybe I'll lower the opacity of this too. Around there. It still brightens it up and does bring out some attention to it. Alright. Now I want to smooth out these wrinkles in the back, because that really is taking away from the picture. It really bothers me there. I'm going to click on this bottom layer, right click it, and go New Smart Object via Copy. I'm going to move it to the top of the stack. I'm going to go into Filter, Blur, and Lens Blur is a good one to use, but for this particular blurring, I'm going to go to a Surface Blur. And it's pretty intensive on the video card when you actually render this, but I think it has great results. Go a little higher, maybe there. You see how that blurred everything out and makes it nice and smooth looking. And I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to do its thing. And I want to, it looks like pretty good there, but I want to make sure that these are still staying sharp. This glass was a little bit of out of focus to begin with, so that's okay. I'm not too concerned with that. I don't want the filter to affect the glasses, so I'm gonna have to start off by creating a mask around these. And I like to do objects like this with the pen tool, so I'm going to start off and show you in the beginning how I would work with the pen tool. But I have a mask already saved out, and I'll bring that into this image. But I'll start off just to show you how to do it. Start off on a straight strip over here. So you can see, you just click and then kind of follow along with the contours of the stem here. When you get to the end, you just pull the handle down, but it's going to be coming up to a corner here. So if I click over here, it's going to have this weird loop. So you just hold down your Alt or Option key and hover over this handle and pull it in the same direction as to where the line is you're going to be following. So when you click, it automatically starts to follow that line. And same thing over here. I'm just holding down the Alt key and allows me to use this handle here. Just bend it in the direction it's going to start to go. And then click the next spot. And the same thing here. But this is going to become a corner piece, so I'm just going to move the handle all the way in, right on top of it, and let it go. And then click here, and drag. Right around there. And just move that up a little bit. And continue on. But you'll do that for the entire entire glass there, and then when you get back to the end you have a little circle and you connect it and it'll be a piece. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get rid of this path here, and I'm going to bring it in from another document that I have here. I'm just going to go to the select menu and go load selection, and I'm going to bring it in from this glass selection PSD here. And there's my selection there. And I'm just going to click the mask icon, and it automatically puts the mask on there. And as you can see, I'll show and hide the mask. This is what it did. So it brings all the detail back in that glass there, and leaves the background blurry. One thing that it did do is down in this bottom portion over here, it doesn't look so great. So I'm just going to click on this filter mask, and with a brush, make it a little bit larger and bring my opacity back up. And this is also a soft brush. As you can see, there's no hardness on it. I'm just going to paint away that effect on there. Maybe a little bit over here too. Just so I don't have that banding going on. Doesn't look so nice. And that is it. I'm going to tab out here. Zoom in a bit. And there is this week. That is 4. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.